In the days of King Ahaziah, son of Ahab, Israel had once again turned away from the Lord. Idols filled the land, and the people worshipped Baal, forsaking the God of their fathers. The nation was shrouded in spiritual darkness. Elijah, the prophet of fire, stood alone in faithfulness to the Lord. His long gray hair was tied back, his thick gray beard weathered from years in the wilderness. Wrapped in a rough cloak of animal hair, fastened with a leather belt, he walked the hills, an unshakable man of God. After a great fall from his upper room, King Ahaziah lay injured in his palace. But instead of seeking the Lord for healing, he turned to Baal-zebub, the false god of Ekron. The king, pale and in pain, sent his messengers to inquire of Baal-zebub. But the word of the Lord came to Elijah, commanding him to confront the messengers. Is it because there is no God in Israel that you are going to inquire of Baal-zebub? When the messengers returned to the king with the words of the prophet, Ahaziah's anger burned. He sent 50 soldiers with their captain to bring Elijah down. They found him seated on a hill, his scarred skin showing years of hardship, his eyes filled with the fire of God. With authority, the captain shouted, "Man of God," the king says, "come down." Elijah, unmoved by the threats of men, stood tall on the hill. He lifted his weathered hands to the heavens and declared, "If I am a man of God, may fire come down from heaven and consume you and your 50 men." And at once, the sky split open. A fiery whirlwind, fierce and terrifying, descended from the heavens. In an instant, the captain and his 50 soldiers were consumed by the flames of God's judgment. The smell of smoke filled the air, and the hill was scorched by the divine fire. King Ahaziah, still defiant, sent another 50 soldiers to Elijah. As they approached, the ashes of the first group were still warm on the ground. Again, the captain demanded, "Man of God, come down at once." But Elijah remained steadfast. His voice echoed with divine authority as he spoke, "If I am a man of God, may fire come down from heaven and consume you and your 50 men." And again, the heavens roared. A second blast of fire fell upon the soldiers, consuming them where they stood. The wrath of God was undeniable, yet the king's heart was hardened. The king, blinded by pride, sent a third group of 50 soldiers. But this time, the captain came in humility. He knelt before the prophet, trembling in fear. "Man of God," he pleaded, "please have respect for my life and the lives of these 50 men." Elijah looked down with compassion, and with the authority of the Almighty, he spoke, "Go back to your king and tell him what the Lord has spoken." The captain bowed in gratitude, and with his men spared, he returned to the palace. The hill, once consumed by divine fire, now stood silent. Elijah remained, God's prophet, untouched and unwavering, standing in the power of the living God.